नमस्ते नमः शिवाय एंड मेरी आज एक अपॉइंटमेंट 30 मिनट्स डिले हुई है। सो आई गॉट अ निमित्ता एंड आई थॉट के एक शॉर्ट जल्दी से एक वीडियो में शूट कर लूं, क्योंकि देर आर फ्यू थिंग्स विच आई कांट टॉक व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग ऑन पॉडकास्ट, राइट? बिकॉज थिंग्स आर टू टेक्निकल, right? At the same time, when I talk, there are few people who have their own versions, because they have read many, maybe 2 pages of Jyotish or our chat GPT Jyotishis. So they start advising me or they start trolling me. And then they feel that, I won't be able to reply. And obviously on the comment section, I never reply because I never even read the comments, right? But I thought, since I had this short period and the appointment is a little delayed, and I got a nimitta, I thought that I'll shoot a small video just to cater to logical audience which is there. And the logical audience generally doesn't reply to the trolls, right? Even if they are on the comment section, they will not pick up a fight because they have better things to do, right? उनको ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई 1.5 GB का अगर डेटा है तो I have to utilize that 1.5 GB data, just trolling or wasting their times on the trolls. So I'm actually appealing to them, or rather catering to them, right? So a lot of times people feel that, when I'm talking maybe in a generic way. Okay. Not understanding that there are few technical or very technical things which I cannot be talking in a podcast, because probably the audience is at this level. And if I talk things, which are from Jaimini or Parashara, they might get completely lost, right? For example, today I just made 2 3 slides, which I want to share with you, which is a simple understanding of how Narendra Bhai and Donald Trump are different, right? So generally, if you would see, when I talk about Donald Trump or Narendra Bhai, I would generally say they both are very, very different, and Donald Trump is more transactional, and compared to a Narendra Modi, who is actually hardcore sort of politician, right? And there is a logic to my argument, and that logic is not based on probably what you guys are thinking, because you are seeing at an external level, whereas Raj Jyotishi or people who are trained at my level, having spent a good 25 years into Jyotish, going from Himalayas, one place to another, sacrificing all their corporate leaves only to learn Jyotish, they look at things a little differently. And I thought that I should actually give you one logical sort of understanding, purely taking Donald Trump and Narendra Bhai Modi, and basically the Jyotisha understanding. So when you see the output, this is the input behind it. Okay. Now, we have to understand that, especially now, this is more technical. That's why I don't talk about it in my podcasts, right? So when I teach, or when we were learning D16, huh? Shodachamsha, there is a divisional chart. We had learned that, hey, listen, there are 3 types of lagnas, right? One is what we call it as Chara Lagna, which is movable Lagna. Now, which are movable Lagnas, which is technically we say 1, 4, 7, 10, right? Or Mesha, Karka, Tula, and Capricorn. Whereas, and then there are fixed, and then there are dual. Dual are called Dvishbhava, which is basically 3, 6, which is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Dhanu, and Meena, right? Now, when you understand Jyotish at a higher level, we understand that, hey, listen, all Chara Lagnas are having a transmitting image, and there is something which is the understanding of the image and then the output of the image, which happens. And all 3 Lagnas have a different understanding of grasping that image and transmitting the image. Right. And the simple rule, if you are a good Jyotish student, a simple rule of understanding that is, basically it will be the Agni Rashi in the Kendra, which will be the image output. So let's say even if it is your Lagna is Tula, right? Narendra Bhai Modi is a Tula Lagna, for that matter, Adolf Hitler was Tula Lagna. So what is the in Kendra? What is the Agni Rashi? Agni Rashi is only Mesha, right? So there are three Agni Rashis, if you know, 159, what we say, which is Mesha, Leo, and Saji. I'm using English words so that a wider audience can understand. जो हिंदी बोलते हैं वो भी more or less English समझ पाएंगे. But I wanted to cater to a bigger audience so everybody is able to understand what I mean to say. Right? So if it is a Tula Lagna, then the only Agni Rashi in Kendra is 14710 is Mesha. So for all the Kendras, which is 14710, the only Agni Rashi in Kendra is Mesha. Similarly, if we say fixed Lagna, fixed Lagna is basically from here you have to see. So this becomes 1, 4, 7 and 10, right? In this, the only fixed sign or only Agni Rashi, sorry, is Leo, right? Whereas for dual, which is Mithuna, the only Agni Rashi is Dhanu, which is in Kendra because it is seventh from Gemini. Are we understanding the logic? And if you are not understanding, you should understand why I directly give you the input rather than giving the logic to the argument. Right? Because the logic sometimes can go bumper and then people will write more unnecessarily because they would not accept that they didn't understand or their knowledge is shallow. So rather than learning, they will start sort of accusing somebody else because they are basically frustrated with their life. Right? So now let us understand. So there is something for every movable lagna, the image output is in Mesha. Huh? And the mind output is always the Jala in Kendra, Jala Rashi in Kendra. So for all movable, the Jala in Kendra is always Karka. For every fixed sign, the Jala in Kendra is always Scorpio or Vrishika. And for every dual sign or Dvishbhava Rashi, it is always Mina, which is the Jala. So your image input is happening in one sign depending on different Lagnas, right? And the output is happening in a different sign. Now, let us understand this a little more. We are all fighting a battle, and every Lagna is fighting a battle, and every sign is fighting a battle. So what is the fight for Chara Lagna or movable Lagna? Since the image output is in Aries uh, uh, and the mind output is in Karka, what does Mesha represent? Mesha is associated with royalty. Do you know that there is only one sign which is associated with royalty and that is Mesha? हाँ Why? Because it is exaltation of Surya. यहाँ पे मैंने लॉजिक दिया हुआ है and it is the place of Mangal. We are in Bhuloka. So when I keep saying that by we are in Bhuloka, we are stop saying this is not an era of war. उसका लॉजिक भी यहीं पे है. हाँ So for Chara, the battle is for power and throne. So anybody who is a Chara Lagna, he is battling for a throne or has to battle for the throne. So what am I saying? That Chara Lagna is superb for politician. Why? Because a politician ultimately has to battle for a throne. Logical? What is a politician who is not battling for a throne? We all think of Rahul Gandhi in a different way. Why? Because we are saying that, hey, listen, with 99 seats and becoming an opposition leader, if you are happy and if you feel that is your victory, then, hey, frankly speaking, you are not sort of a good politician or a cutthroat politician. And that is my logic as to why Rahul Gandhi cannot be a Charalagna and why Narendra Modi is a Charalagna. You understand? How you do rectification also. So we are very clear that for Charalagna, it's always going to be the battle for the throne. Because this is what we are talking about. This is exaltation. Mesha is exaltation of Surya, and that is where the natural Lagna of Mangal is. right? Whereas, so Charalagna people like to sort of control the life processes. They want to control everything. So naturally, these are good politicians because a good politician wants to control everything. Who is going to be appointed that even a general secretary or even a Shakha Pramukh has to be confirmed by me? That is a good politician. I'm not against it at all, right? But compare that with a fixed lagna. Huh? What are fixed lagnas? Lagna which is either Taurus, huh? Lagna which is either Leo, Simha Lagna, which is Donald Trump, right? Lagna which is Vrishchika or Scorpio or Meena. So what are they fighting for? Their fight is for wealth creation. Why? Because their image output is in Simha, which is basically the sign of Surya. Surya per se is associated with wealth. Mangal is the one which is associated with actually the power and the throne. Huh? And what they want to do, these are the people who want to create the wealth or manage the wealth. Basically, in today's time, we can say you can who wants to manage the food production also. And because they want to control everything via transformation, life transformation. So what food you will eat, what is a vegan diet, this is the minerals are mine. I want to control the minerals. I want to control the crypto. I want to control the land via the money. So this all is but natural. So Taurus is the Lagna of Shri Krishna. So Shri Krishna is Taurus Lagna, whereas Shri Ram is Karka Lagna. So Shri Ram is a Chara Lagna, fighting for the throne. Whereas Shri Krishna is the one who is fighting not for the throne, he is fighting for basically the life transformation, the wealth. And the wealth just doesn't mean the cash wealth. Wealth is also where you want to make everything very, very stable for everything, where everybody should have food, where everybody should be treated equally. The whole concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Hmm? Whereas for the dual lagna, the image output, basically the fight is for knowledge. These are all people who like to control the narrative. They like to control the people via their knowledge. So we can say that typical leftist mindset is a very dual mindset because they like to control the narratives. They like to control the universities. They like to control the top newspapers. So am I giving you a clarity in terms of how three different types of lagna, movable, fixed, and dual, are having a very different images which they capture and what they give out, right? So now, based on this understanding, on the this is Narendra Modi and this is Donald Trump. Hmm? Let us understand Narendra Bhai. Huh? Tula Lagna, what is it? Chara Lagna, or what we call it as movable. So what did I tell you before? Movable Lagna is good for politics. Why? Because their mind or their image output is in Mesha. Seventh house is the house of love and war, right? And then seventh house is Mangal. I told you that this particular Mesha is very, very important for politicians. And the mind output is in over here. So what is the only planet which is aspecting the seventh house or Mesha? It is Rahu. And Rahu again is very good for politics. We are not talking about Surya politics. We are talking about, scheming things or Bhedaniti, basically. And we need to give it to Narendra Bhai that he is very damn good with it. He is very good at manipulation. He can actually sort of get the things done very, very nicely. Though there is parivartana and other things, I'm not confusing and I'm not getting too technical with it. But generally, I'm trying to tell you that this is a very, very important aspect we need to understand. Whereas look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is fixed lagna. Huh? For fixed lagna, we know that the image output is in a sign called Leo, and the mind output is in a sign called Scorpio. But unlike Narendra Bhai Modi, where the houses are empty, oh, this guy has got three planets over there. So image output is having Mangal. And what is Mangal? Mangal is pure authority. What does Mangal rule? Mangal rules lands and properties. And I told you that, hey, the fixed Lagna is very good for business, whereas this is very good for politics. Chara is very good for politics, right? So when I say loosely, as for many of you, that hey, there is a stark difference between the two, where Narendra Bhai is a hardcore politician, Donald Trump is basically a businessman. So my basis is this, but can I explain in a podcast? Everybody will say, "Arey yaar, this is too technical." Yaar, or somebody will say, "Oh, he's showing off his knowledge," right? Because either ways, these people have got that 1.5 GB data. They have to troll something. So they have to act and they have to show that they are Rahu people. And then these are the same people who will go to the astrologers and say, my time is very bad. Obviously, it will be very bad because you guys, morning, evening, night, just want to troll people, be an absolute Rahu, and spoil your Kriyaman karma. Without understanding that the person whom you are trolling has spent good 25 years of his life and still considers himself a student. I don't have the ahankar that, I'm some Pandit or some Shri Shri or some Acharya. Lot of time people tell me, कि कार्तिक जी आप कुछ add करो, I don't add it. And there is a reason to it. I'm happy where I am. Right? So here we see there is Mangal. So Mangal is all about property. So what is his biggest success? He's real estate. But he is basically Simha Lagna and having Mangal in Lagna, and he's swearing in chart this time, what I've already discussed before, also has got, he is also Mesha Lagna with Mangal in debility in the fourth house. We have talked about it, based on which I said that, this guy is going to talk as if, he owns everything. And he is going to basically act as if he is the king of the king and he is doing a Vashwamedh Yagna. But the other part of it, let us understand the mind output. One is what is the image he is looking for, and he is always ready to pick up a fight because of Mangal. He is not going to shy out. So if anybody feels that, oh, between him and Elon Musk, maybe because he's at that presidential level, maybe Elon Musk will sort of bully him or talk about some Epstein report and all those things, and he is going to back out. No, not Donald Trump. He'll go all out. Huh? Like he is going all out even with the Indian government, where he has replied 18 times that he did the ceasefire. But if you know Jyotish, you will understand why he does that. Because his mind output has got Ketu and Moon. What is Ketu? Ketu is very well placed. It is in his own house. Let us not forget his Aruda Lagna is also here. And where is Moon? Moon is in debility. And this debilitated Moon is also aspected by this planet. Is also aspected by Mangal by fourth aspect. So we can say that, as far as his mental images are concerned, mental images are also quite very strong. And it is in the fourth house, his fourth house of basically comforts. So one thing is for sure, based on this output, this man will have huge resources, huge wealth resources. That there are no doubt about it. Especially with Jupiter in the second house aspected by a malefic. But I'm not getting into that for now. Right? So look at this. So based on this, where am I wrong when I say that, hey, he is a fantastic business person, why would I not tell the team to go for this moon campaign where they went for this McDonald campaign? Because the mind output and Aruda Lagna is with the moon. So I was very clear that he is winning, right? So these are the things, which I cannot say. Now compare that to Prabhu Shri Ram. Huh? Prabhu Shri Ram again is a Chara Lagna. right? For Chara Lagna, the image output is in Mesha. I told you the person has to fight for the throne. So Narendra Bhai will also fight for his throne. Prabhu Shri Ram also had to fight for his throne, right? But the difference is that hey, he has got Aruda Lagna over here, Mesh over here, and Surya is exalted over here. So per se, it should be very, very simple. Cakewalk. The throne should be a cakewalk. But no, it is not a cakewalk because there are malefics which are aspecting. There are three malefics which are aspecting. And this Shani Mangal causes a yoga which is called as Yama Yoga. So definitely there is a huge fight which is happening. As far as the throne is concerned, or shall we say his mental images are concerned. And because Aruda Lagna is involved there, Prabhu Shri Ram has to fight that battle because that is the purpose of his avatar. But within all these things, is there a mind output which is also very venomous? See, in Donald Trump's case, we saw that debilitated moon and Ketu is there. That means that that mindset is extremely venomous. So if he doesn't like somebody, he will be very venomous towards that person. If he doesn't like Kamala Harris or Sleepy Joe or for that matter Barack Obama, he can be very vocal and very malicious about them. If he doesn't like CNN for that matter, he can pick them up and he will not mince his words because of that debilitated moon and Ketu. He can be very, very blunt. But look at Prabhu Shri Ram. Prabhu Shri Ram has got Jupiter, which is exalted, Moon, which is Lagna Lord in Lagna, causing a Gajkeshri Yoga. What is this Jupiter? Jupiter is this ninth lord. So whenever a planet is there in the output, we always look at the lordships also. Again, not making it too technical, but it is the ninth lord which is associated with Dharma. And this is fourth from Surya, which is an Abhijit Rashi also. Huh? Seventh from the moon is basically your heart desire, where there you have Mangal. So what Prabhu Shri Ram wants is perfect security. That hey, I have to have a land which is very secure for demons, for women, so on and so forth. So these are very, very important things that in Jyotish, whatever we were taught, we were always taught by the horoscopes of Prabhu Shri Ram and Shri Krishna. So I thought this would be a good way of mine to sort of uh, give a very logical understanding of when I talk about, let's say, Iran, when I'm talking about Pakistan. So it is not a generic commentary. There is a lot of background Jyotish which I am talking about, but I don't want to give everything very technical way because you guys don't want to hear the technical way, right? Secondly, if I'm going to do a podcast with somebody who is going to shoot me for 45 minutes to 1 hour, what predictions am I going to do for all 1 hour? So if you're not a keen student, frankly speaking, you should give it a miss. And then go to those reels of various people you in 30 seconds with and then see their cleavage or whatever crap they are doing. Or some good reels also I'm sure there must be there where they are only in 30 seconds you will get predictions of different rashis, different lagna. I don't do that because I don't believe in that. Right? So this is my thank you to everybody uh, for understanding this perspective and hopefully the people who sort of don't understand will have a clarity and maybe they will understand what I mean to say. So thank you so much for your time. Namah Shivaya. See you soon. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Namah Shivaya.